What's up, guys? Miles here with Keep the Change. Today we are talking about Snapchat stock, whether or not you should buy it or sell it, mainly because it's gone up 30% in a matter of a day because they smashed earnings. So we're going to discuss whether or not it's overvalued or not. So if you like the video, go ahead and drop a like. And if you want to see more like it, I upload every Tuesday and Friday, so make sure to subscribe as well. And if you don't like and subscribe, then you're going to get coal for Christmas this year. So Snapchat stock, they IPO'd all the way back in 2017. I actually remember the day. It was quite literally my birthday, March 1st, and they were around $24 a share at the time. However, their stock price plummeted and they ended up going to $5 a share in late 2018. And this was due to a ton of reasons: the lack of profitability, the lack of user growth, the lack of revenue growth, a lot of reasons. A lot of bad things were happening for Snapchat. But they've recovered massively. In 2020 alone, they're up 156%, and now they're worth $35 a share. And Snapchat's no small company either. It's worth around $40 billion at the moment, so that's pretty crazy. The stock price climbed dramatically on Tuesday after they absolutely smashed their Q3 earnings. I mean, destroyed it, obliterated it. So let's take a quick look at the earnings and see if it's actually justified. So their daily active users increased 18% year over year. So now there's 249 daily active users on Snapchat, and their revenue actually climbed dramatically year over year, climbing 52%. Now they made $680 million for the quarter. They're not a profitable company though, so they lost $200 million this quarter. However, last year in this quarter, they actually managed to lose $230 million, so technically it's better, but still that's not great. The lack of profitability is actually a huge problem I have with this company. However, we'll get more into that later. For now, let's just look at the positives. Focus on the bright side. Paint a rainbow. Now with Snapchat, it's not only a place where girls go to post their OnlyFans and drug dealers go to deal drugs. Okay, it's actually a social media app. I don't know if you guys knew that. However, more than a social media app, it's really like a communication app. Just because 90% of my friends, I don't even text them anymore. I just hit them up on Snapchat, you know what I mean? And Snapchat's definitely geared towards the younger audience, as 90% of its users are 13 to 24 years old, so my age range really. Now, along with being a communication app, it does have other features. It's got news on it, it's got shows you can watch, games you can play, filters to use, a bunch of stuff. And filters are actually an extremely important part to this company, as customers can make cool filters and businesses can actually pay for them in order to get their brand seen on a filter. Now, Snapchat calls these filters augmented reality, which is like the dumbest name I've ever heard, but if they want to call it that, okay, augmented reality. So something cool with their filters, or their augmented reality as they like to call it, is that there's a lot more technology these days. You can do a lot more with it. A really cool thing about the features is that they're getting more advanced every single day, so advertisers can actually use them more and more. And to give you an example of this, there's now full body filters instead of just your face, which is actually very good for advertising. If I'm a girl and I want to try on some nail polish, but I don't have time to go to the store, I can use a Snapchat filter and just see how it looks on my hands, order it straight from there. And that's an actual thing that is happening. Not only that, but Snapchat's got a ton of shows which actually have been growing massively. They poured tons of money into these shows, and basically people watch them, and then advertisers can pay for commercials on those shows. So investing into their apps with new shows, better filters, and just getting more users in general, this has helped their revenue climb dramatically. Now let me make something very clear. 52% revenue growth is nothing to scoff at. That's actually amazing considering the economic condition we're in with the pandemic, and also the fact that advertisers have been pulling out recently, but now they're actually putting money back into the app, so that's good. And another big reason that their revenue has been climbing is because their average revenue per user has also climbed 28%, and now they make $2.74 off of every user. More users on the app, also getting more revenue from them, which obviously means more revenue. What was really interesting to me though was the fact that most of their growth with the users has actually come outside of the US and Europe, so the rest of the world is slowly adopting Snapchat as well. Pretty much every metric you looked at for Snapchat this quarter was growing. The amount of time that users spent on the app, the amount of users, revenue per user, all that good stuff. However, it's not all roses, okay? I don't think this is like the best stock to ever exist, okay? I have some issues with it. Let's get into them right now. All right, my first issue with this company, elephant in the room here, they are extremely unprofitable. They lost $200 million this quarter, and that was considered a really good quarter for them. And if you look at their previous net income in the past couple of years, they've lost hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. So analysts expect them to be profitable next year. We'll see how that shakes out, but even if they are, it'll be barely profitable, which is a problem because they really need to make money soon. Because according to the LA Times, they have to make a profit by 2022 before they run out of money. Now, personally, I don't think they're gonna go bankrupt, but the question is, when will they be profitable? Because if it's not next year, if it's not the year after that, things are gonna start looking a lot more bleak. But what do you do when you want to spend money and you don't have it? Well, you do what every good American does, and you get debt. So looking at the balance sheet, they have over $1.5 billion in debt, and I'm not a fan of that, not at all. Now they do have over $2 billion in cash, so they'll be good for a while. If the debt becomes a bigger problem and it snowballs, then this could get ugly really quickly. So my biggest gripe with Snapchat by far is the fact it's unprofitable and it has a lot of debt, and who knows when they'll be profitable, really. The other big problem with this company is the valuation. The valuation is incredibly rich, like Jeff Bezos rich. Snapchat has a forward PE of 300, which is absolutely ridiculous. Just to give you some perspective, Twitter has a forward PE of 62 and Facebook has a forward PE of 25. Now granted, Snapchat's going to have a lot higher revenue growth than these two companies in the coming years, but if they miss a step or they mess up, I mean, this thing is going to tank, like seriously. So with all that being said, what do I think of Snapchat stock? I think if they can have 50% revenue growth for like 3 or 4 quarters in a row and become profitable, this valuation will make sense and the gains will be massive. But a lot has to fall in the short term for this to happen. Snapchat has to not miss a move here. Now let me clarify, I don't think Snapchat's a bad longer term position, but if you missed out on the 30% gain and you're trying to buy in now, I think you might have missed the boat. So I'm in no rush to buy Snapchat. If you really want to buy Snapchat, I would just suggest dollar cost averaging. However, I do think the stock's a little hot here at the moment. But hey, what do I know, right? Because I'm not a financial advisor by any means. Make sure to do your own research. Don't listen to me, just some guy on YouTube, okay? I'm stupid. Now, with all that being said, thank you for sticking around. If you stuck around this long, go ahead and subscribe. Please, it would help the channel out a lot. I'm trying to get to 100, and drop a like on the video. Thanks so much for watching. Love you.